even in this time right now, bro, we are seeing the new gen step up. Simp was that new gen, and even Hydra, who's newer gen than him, but we're seeing that new wave of people that are coming in and are taking over. I think we're gonna see these people in full effect here within the next year or so. There's gonna be way more of these challengers players who people take a chance on, and they find one or two of them who are good enough that they can be mainstays in the league. Now, this is gonna be the fourth event that we've been to, and there's so many new players that we're gonna actually get to see in person. I'll tell you, dude, especially after the matches that we had yesterday and this weekend, I have no idea what's going to go on with this. It would be damn near impossible, honestly, to make an accurate bracket as to what would go on at this major.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 259 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
Now, Mike.
How you feeling, Mike? I said feeling.
Yeah. This might be one of the first episodes ever where we haven't said how you doing, how you feeling.
Yeah.
I felt better.
Yeah.
I am. I sound worse than I feel. I was saying before we started recording. I'm like beat. I'm just really tired, run down from the cold. But on the other side of it too, I can't be that upset. I'm more blessed because on the day of recording this, it's on a Monday, and we just getting through our snowstorm, and thankfully been safe through that whole thing. But I'm sick. I'm on the other end of it, and then we got the major coming up here just in a couple of days. We're gonna fly out. Um, so I'm relieved that I'm on the other side of it right now. If it was tomorrow, Tuesday, before the major, and I swallow and I got a little sore throat, oh, bro, I would start panicking. I would immediately I would panic myself into full on sickness right away.
Yeah.
Like, because
Yeah.
maybe people know too, when you go to these majors, there's like an 80% chance that you're gonna leave that place with some horrible sickness. Like
Yeah.
everybody gets sick either during it or before or after it. So I'm happy that I'm before and I'll
Mhm.
be able to enjoy it and leave and hopefully not like get something else.
Yeah. I'm Scump. He's not going to be at the major because he's having a kid, but he was like saying that, yeah, no, it's 100% chance. You always get sick afterwards, which I'm trying to think. The two Boston majors, I'm pretty sure I didn't get sick afterwards, but yeah, I mean, you can imagine everybody's, dapping each other up. You're just swapping germs everywhere. And you and I are both gamers. We know, like, dude, gamers aren't the most,
Hygienic.
hygienic people in the world, especially where we are, like in the VIP section where the pit is. Some people
It's
got
like
to be showering, got to be putting on deodorant, and that's not even me throwing shade. It's just true. It happens, you know.
Yeah, and everyone's around, like, you're with the same people all week, and it's a lot of people in this one place, and like you said, it's just, it's a breeding ground for disease going around.
Yeah.
Um, I think at one of the Boston majors that we had, I did end up, sick, but it wasn't anything extreme. I've heard the horror stories from people, particularly players who, when they leave there, I always see a couple of tweets on the timeline where they're like, "Bro, I am out." Like, is anybody
Yeah.
else feeling this right now? Does anybody got this major one disease, this cold that's coming around?
Mhm.
Um, so it's kind of tradition. It's part of what you sign up for. There's a risk that you run knowing that you're gonna get sick going to it. But no, I'm happy that I'm on the other side of this and I won't be feeling terrible for the major because, bro, it's hard to believe that we actually made it. Like, I was talking to our buddy beforehand. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm not going to be here next week for guitar. And he's just like, why? I was like, bro, the major. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's like, yeah, dude, I totally forgot. Like, it's come up so fast. It's
Yeah,
hard to believe that in a couple of days we're going to be on a flight.
I know. It came really fast. I remember buying the tickets. They went on sale right before Thanksgiving, the week before Thanksgiving. I remember, and I bought them. And you were working, and I think beforehand, I was telling you, like, do we get VIP tickets immediately? We don't know the price, and you were saying, I'm gonna be at work. Just buy the VIP tickets. I don't care. And I was in the car with my friend, and I was telling him, "Oh wait, I need to buy these. I can't get out yet." and he was saying, "What are you trying to buy?" I'm like, "Just I need to buy these. I'm in the queue right now trying to get these tickets." Got them, and yeah, end of January came really quick. So,
Mhm.
I mean, when you guys listen to this, it's post major already, which is crazy. But we have our flight in 2 days, like, oh, a day and a half. Our flight's super early, and the only thing I'm worried about, though, is we're going there, it's snowy there right now. Not as much snow as here, but I was talking to one of my coworkers who, lives in Texas, and he was saying that it's just all ice, like, the roads, straight ice because they don't have salt or
Right.
anything to prevent it. But then I looked at the weather like a couple hours ago. Apparently, we're supposed to get another snowstorm on Sunday, like 11 to 14 inches by me,
Dang.
which that part I'm kind of worried about because we're flying back on Monday.
Mhm.
Are we going to be able to fly back?
I mean, I hope so, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
We might be cooked.
Might be
Who
cooked
knows?
for another day, or we're just staying at the airport. It's going to be delayed for a while.
Well, and the thing too that's been crazy about this storm that we've had, like, it's bad, but it's not horrendous. But the problem is too that this has been something that a lot of other states are experiencing. In Texas right now, they got a whole bunch of snow there too, I believe.
Mhm.
Or they got a decent amount of snow by what they normally
I
have.
think they got a little over an inch, and the whole state just shut down.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like
Mhm.
I've heard that in other in southern states too, where they've gotten snow. I think it was Georgia or one of the Carolinas not that long ago. Same thing because they have no idea what to do. I remember seeing some clips online where they have two people just standing on the back of a truck with
Mhm.
bags and they're just emptying the bags out. Uh, it was so strange to see because yeah, they're not prepared for it at
Mhm.
all.
We're
Um,
battle tested in New England.
well, it's funny that you say, checking the temperatures because I meant to do that today and I blacked out on it. Because I wanna know what we're getting into when we go to Texas, but you hear them, scumping all of them saying that it was 20 something degrees or it's
Yeah.
gonna be in the 20s or 30s, and I'm over here like, "Bro, I woke up on one of these days, my car said 2 degrees, homie."
Yeah.
I'm like, "We'll be fine."
Yeah,
20,
yeah.
I'm like, "That's getting a little sunny for me right now. That
I
ain't too
know,
bad." But
right?
it is weird to be going to Texas knowing that it's going to be that cold because every time that you go there and most people's assumption of it is that it never gets that cold ever.
Yeah, I know. My friend was saying, "Man, you're just bringing the cold with you." And,
Mhm.
I mean, I guess we are, but I if it's in the 40s, that's great for us. That's
That's fine.
nice, 40 and sunny, and yeah, I sent him a picture of what my driveway looked like, and he was like, "Jesus Christ," because if that happened in Texas, he was saying the state would shut down for decades.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
wouldn't know what to do at all.
Yeah, it's funny that here, when something like that happens, it maybe takes 2 to 3 days, and then things are pretty much back to normal and everyone's driving. I went on the
Mhm.
roads a little bit today, and there were very few people on there. Yesterday, when I made a late excursion to the grocery store, it was barren. There wasn't anybody out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and all the highways were all just one lane was plowed, nothing else.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, it's a couple of days for us. In Texas, just 1 inch, and they treat it like it's Armageddon, you know? So,
Yeah,
yeah, if they had this, they would need to send in big time help. They would need
yeah.
all the other states, but "Send your best guys. We can't
I'm
deal with it."
I'm looking at the weather right now for Dallas. It's 31 and sunny right now, and when we go, it's gonna be cloudy and sunny. Dude, Thursday's 52.
Ah, bro.
The lowest it's gonna be is, like, a low of 17 on Saturday.
Nah.
We
And
good.
that's probably mad early,
Yeah, yeah, early, yeah.
mad early in the
We're
morning.
good.
Nah, we'll be fine
We're
with it.
we're battle tested here. Even the snowstorm here, I promise we won't talk too much about the snowstorm in football because people were commenting like, "Love you guys, but we don't need 20 minutes of football." I understand,
Yeah,
but
what, you don't wanna hear about the Pats going to the Super Bowl,
yeah,
baby?
yeah. The
Come on.
snow though here, we've had worse snowstorms. This is rough, but
Mm.
We've had way worse, way, way worse.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We will be fine, but I think for some people it is going to impact them, like shifting towards the major. Um, because I heard on Scum Stream this morning, he was asking who was going to it, and he brought that up. That's gonna be a big thing. I wonder if people are maybe not thinking about going, or they're gonna be changing their plans around because it's gonna be cold and with the snow and everything. But again, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. I for me, going to an optic major, bro, if it was -20, I'm going to that, you know?
Bro, it was
Like,
-20 when we were at the Boston major.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The Boston major was, you know, prefaces saying this out of context. It was the worst, bro. That
Yeah,
that was
yeah. It
that was
was
so
negative
bad. You
20.
had to yeah, and you had to stand outside for hours
Mhm.
in that weather with the wind chill. Yeah, forget it.
That is
Uh,
why we planned accordingly with the hotels because Boston Breach put out a statement saying, "Don't camp out because you will freeze." And our hotel was maybe a 3-minute walk to the venue. So,
yeah.
it was nice for us, but yeah, this is fine for us. We just gotta wear pants. We're good. We're not wearing shorts, but, that's fine by me, and it's gonna be sunny.
And I think too since it's been a while for us, at least it feels like it has going to a major, and especially it being an optic major, the excitement, the hype, that's gonna warm me right up, dude.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I
It And this is the first major where you and I are, like, legitimately traveling to. New
yeah.
York was, but we took the train to New York, so I guess we kinda traveled for that, but this, we're actually traveling.
Yeah, we stayed in our New England area, like
Mhm,
Northeast kind of area in general. So this is gonna be a real deal for us. We have to take a flight to go watch Call of Duty, which
mhm,
sounds insane on paper, but it's gonna be it's gonna be legendary. Again, this has been a bucket list thing for you and me
mhm.
to take care of. So to actually be there and witness what's gonna go down, it's gonna be crazy. In Optics home turf with everybody in the green wall. I don't know what to expect because my expectation is just from what we've had at the majors that we've been to,
Mhm,
which I mean, the New York major, I would say, was probably the best major that we went to in terms of what was going on in the CDL because of how late it was. Getting a call from my phone, and it ain't the call that I want, bro.
mhm,
I want the good call saying that I have no school. Um, but New York was probably one of the best majors that we had regarding like storylines and how late it was into the season and how much was at stake.
mhm.
But this one, because it's so early and what's going on right now, I think it's going to easily live up to the hype. And also, too, because it's in Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. New York was definitely it was good because that was our first ever major, and you're right, the storylines there, it was major 4, so it was late into the season already, and
Right before champs, right?
yeah, yeah, and we were just hyped. Well, actually, no, I think that at that year there were 5 majors,
I think, yeah,
but
okay.
it was our first major, so we were hyped, and then the 2 Boston majors, I would say the experience definitely at the Boston majors were way better than the New York one, mainly because location-wise, right, you could walk outside of the music hall, and there's just food and bars everywhere.
That's very
It
true.
only would have been better if it was in the spring where it was warmer, but they would probably have to pay an arm and a leg to get that date in the spring, so um, the Texas one though, it'll be great just because it is an optic major. I was looking at the area. It's on a college campus, but it's not too many food places around per se, but the hotel that we're staying at, there's food everywhere, which I'm excited about. So
Yeah. Yeah, the New York location, like you were saying, was not as expansive
it was a
regarding
bit
what you could
sketch.
do. Yeah, it was sketch and it was a little difficult to try to you'd have to go in Uber anywhere if you wanted to go, out a little bit to get something to eat. And plus it's New York, so it's
Mhm,
not cheap. Um, but yeah, the storyline aspect of it and what we were expecting going into that, again, being the first major, I'll never forget going to that and seeing I think it was not Carolina. What were they before? They were London, right? London Royal Ravens?
yeah, the London
Yeah.
Royal Ravens. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Zero was on that team, I think he was at the
Mhm,
time, and seeing his name, I was like, "Holy shit." I couldn't believe that he was actually there.
mhm.
And same thing with Krim and on that New York squad because of the run that they had to make. to keep. I think it was to keep their champs' hopes alive, or at least keep their hopes alive in that major.
Mhm.
Um, and now thinking, now this is going to be the fourth event that we've been to, and there's so many new players that we're going to actually get to see in person. And I'll tell you, dude, especially after the matches that we had yesterday and this weekend, I have no idea what's gonna go on with this. Like, it would be damn near impossible, honestly, to make an accurate bracket as to
Mhm.
what would go on at this major. If someone is able to predict that and come up with the correct rounds
Yeah.
and wins, my hat is off to you, because this is one of the few years in Call of Duty that I've ever watched that I really have no idea who's gonna like where anyone's gonna place. I have no idea who's gonna win, who's gonna bow
Mhm.
out early. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is weird because going into this year, Optic was obviously the clear favorite. They're frying in the beginning, and towards the tail end of the split, they've been tapering off a bit, and other teams have been performing well. And Karma on stream, he was actually saying that he has no idea who's going to win the major, and I was thinking you should say your team first, but he did say that based on scrims, it's just so hard to predict like who is like actually top 3, top 5 because everyone's so close right now. And again, we know COD is day to day. So if you just show up on the right day and you play right, you could take it. I feel like Major 1, I would not be surprised if Optic didn't win, Thieves didn't win, like Gentle Maids or FaZe, the top teams that you expect, right? And most people are still going to think they're going to win. I wouldn't be surprised though if another team takes it outside of that, just because of how close all these teams have been so far.
Yeah, and and that's kind of the difference between this year and previous years is we've had those years in the past, and you could look even just from last year that the team that was most likely going to win would be Thieves or FaZe, and it was a coin flip at that. Maybe you could throw in a third team, but at the time, like at the first major last year, you probably would say Optic. Um, not really knowing what was going to happen, but still always being the top teams. And you knew that they were good, but they didn't have a lot of face offs against one another until the major. So you'd really
Mhm.
get to see where they were at. And they never had many big hiccups throughout the qualifiers. But this time around, all of the big teams have had major hiccups and
Mhm.
had these crazy losses that no one would expect. And then some of the teams that have never been in contention, which we'll get to, like Carolina and Minnesota, these teams all of a sudden look good. And the Falcons have finally figured it out, and they've notched a place in there where they could potentially make a run for it. So now you have, instead of just 3 teams, you have I mean, what, you got 7 teams? I mean,
Mhm.
honestly, I think it was, I can't remember who it was that said, I wanna say it was Zuma, um, that the teams he thinks more than likely are not gonna win or make a run would be Surge, and he did throw Breach in there, which is
Mhm.
sad. Um, but I am inclined to agree a little bit that I would say the teams that I would, because of what's happened so far, would put at the bottom would be those. Because every other team, when you look at their results, you really have no idea where they're gonna place. They've had top teams that they've played against and either 3-1 them or
Mhm.
3-0'd them, and it screws with everything. Like, people
Mhm.
cannot predict Call of Duty, I swear to God.
Yeah, yeah, and I this year too. I mean, after the first split, Gentlemates had the most points, which it's so weird not seeing Phase because Phase or Thieves, but I'm pretty sure Phase in the past couple of years they've always been first in overall standings for a while. I think
Yeah.
last year was the first time where they weren't, and it was Thieves, but it's weird seeing a completely different team first overall. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do agree that Surge will they're probably not going to win
No.
because they've looked consistently as a worse team this entire
Yeah.
split, to be honest. And Breach, it's tough because dude, they just choke, man. I thought they were gonna
Can we talk
beat
about this,
Thieves,
Justin?
dude. I don't. We always get to game 5 and we just don't know. It feels like MW2 again, but we they just get to game 5 and I'm thinking, oh, we can beat a top team, be like the caliber of players, and then we get 6-0.
You know,
But then
and
they 6-0 the week before.
right, right. I think no one can find any consistency right now. And the
Mhm,
problem too is that another team they throw in there would be Cloud9. That was the other team as
mhm,
well, which I would agree. Because man, Boston has these moments where they look really good and they're all firing, and you think that they could make a run at a spot up at the top. But then they just have these moments where they completely drop the ball, and when you're watching them play, they're making mistakes that they should not be making, and it
mhm.
cost them games, and it's been game 5s with them all the time. It was the same thing with what was the last match? I think I just had it here, when with the Thieves that they
Yeah,
had,
yeah.
and same thing.
They should have won.
Yeah, they should have won it, and then they don't, and then when you go and look at their stats right now, like, I got them pulled up here, they're in 10th place
Mhm,
and they're 3-6 right now.
mhm,
But I mean, there you go. They've got matches already that could have easily gone the other way. At least 2 matches that they could have won to change that record, and they'd be up at the top.
mhm.
But
They
I think
should be
that
5-3.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
So, it just I don't know. That I feel like that team is always struggling with well, okay, biased again. The last year, they struggled with consistency, same with the year before, and they brought in Nasty to help with the consistency. He's been consistent, but then the overall team dynamic just hasn't been because what I think it's 3 games in a row they've gone map 5. And the first one they lost game 5 because they got reverse swept. The second one they played C9 and they reverse swept them. And then they play Thieves and they go game 5 and I'm thinking they're going to close this out. They're going to win. Then they get 6-0'd and like you said you're watching them on the map. It's like they just completely forgot everything that
yeah,
got them there.
yeah, and they can't have that happen when it comes to the major, you know?
Mhm.
It's just that's what's gonna happen to them, unfortunately. They're gonna get double, or they're in losers, right? That's where they're starting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they could go there Thursday, lose, and they're out.
Right,
That's
right.
awful.
And it's you hate to be starting the first major of the year in that position, but
Mhm,
they did it to themselves. And part of the problem too, it was good for us, but bad for them, is just that the other teams have found consistency and they've made moves. And I mean, to me right now, like uh, the Carolina thing, Justin, is unreal.
mhm.
I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
understand, bro, how they are so bad and they drop Slasher, who's one of the best ever,
Well, he
certified GOAT,
retired.
retired,
Yeah,
right,
he
okay.
dropped himself.
He dropped himself, sure,
Yeah.
sure, right, and with that move, then they go pick up another guy, and the team looks completely different. Exceed, the guy who
Yeah.
everyone was calling the Burger King,
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
do anything. Now he's the legacy savior for them, and
Mhm.
they look like one of the best teams right now, and to your point earlier, they're fucking 2nd place, like, well,
Yeah.
they're tied, they're all tied. They're
Mhm,
they're just they're higher up because they got more map wins, but the fact that you see them in between Gentlemates, which is crazy, and Falcons, and then they're above FaZe, OPTIC, and Thieves,
mhm,
I just I don't understand it. But that team, the fact that they're another team that's figured it out, it only hurts Boston,
mhm.
you
Oh,
know?
and, this year too, it's kinda similar to last year, right, with Ravens. Again, they started off so hot. Remember, we were all talking about them as a top possibly a top 4 team,
Yep.
and then it slowly tapered off after they dropped, to Vivid. So and now we'll see. I mean, I think that they are playing really well, and we were even saying in the beginning of the split, the Falcons, they just look so bad, and you and I both said that, there's a chance that they make a change, but it's so hard to make a change when you have players like that. There's no way that they should make a change at the end of the day. With players like that, they're going to figure it out. Multiple world champions will figure it out. And they have and they have a chance to do the craziest thing playing Optic first round in winners. Could you imagine they knock Optic down to losers?
And I saw in Scum stream too when he was talking about that, I mean, he's not dumb to it. Like, man, it is very likely that Falcons go in and take care of business right now.
There's a huge chance.
Yeah, like
Optic is definitely not a complete, you know, favorite in that matchup.
no, they're not at all, and it's weird because Optic, obviously coming from last year, they've been dominant, and even going into the beginning of this year, they looked pretty good, but they've had a really hard fall off.
Mhm,
At least let me backtrack. It looks like they have on paper because of the matches that they've lost. But you also think too with a team like Carolina when they lose to Carolina, everybody is hyping them up on how they are one of the teams on the come up and could win this major if they end up playing the way that they are right now. Um, and I saw with Karma talking on stream about it how these losses are, they weren't he wasn't too frustrated by them at first, but the last one I think did bother him,
mhm.
because he knows that their practice looks good, and this is what we hear all the time, like, frying and scrims, and he's warning everybody not to panic, not to freak out, because
Mhm.
when Optic now loses a couple of times in a row, everyone thinks that we're gonna go back to their epic losing streak,
Yeah.
which I just can't imagine. I heard Parasite saying it. I can't imagine that that team has regressed that heavily within that short of a time.
Yeah,
Um,
3 weeks.
yeah, I just don't I don't believe that's really possible with what they've achieved so
Mhm,
far and how much dominance, even in the early stages of the game, like I was saying. I think it's just a case of everyone's still learning this game, and there's some teams that are really figuring it out.
mhm,
And if you're not in one of those teams that has a game plan on like, how to move the game forward and get that extra step, I think you end up kind of falling somewhere in the middle. And that's where they are right now. They're a bit of a question mark. Can they do it? Of
mhm.
course. But have they really shown it in the past couple of matches? Not really.
Yeah, and the big thing is that we're going to LAN now, and for people listening that are, like, relatively new and don't understand that online versus LAN, I'll give you a short summary. Online, there's a bit of latency. LAN, there is no latency at all, so back in the day, a lot of pros would talk about being on LAN is most important because that's where all the events are. And being online, yeah, who cares? You can win matches online. But now online matches actually matter a lot because it helps your seeding and placing into these LAN events. So again, I always say that COD players are super biased because we're looking at the CD out week to week because Optic looks great one week, the next week they lose 0-3 to like Carolina, whatever. And now everybody's saying we got to do something. We got to drop someone from Optic. But at the end of the day, it's what happens on LAN. And I'm not sure what's going to happen on LAN at this major. But I do want to hear from you, though. Obviously, what we want, personally, I do think Optic's going to make it to Sunday. I think they will place a top three. I'd love to see an Optic win on Sunday at their home major and selfishly seeing the green wall make it all the way to Sunday. That'd be
Right.
awesome. But if you had to pick a favorite that will win, and also I want to hear your underdog that's going to win.
My immediate picks to win Major One would be Gentlemates and Thieves.
Mhm,
Because I think those teams both they've got the LAN experience, and I think they can peak at the right time. Um, and they have shown a bit more consistency. I know Thieves is coming off of that loss against Carolina, which was like marginally a loss. But those would be my two teams that I think can win it. And then my underdog team to win, and I would love it if they won, would be Falcons. I would
mhm,
love if Falcons showed up and took care of business, and just seeing them in general win on land, seeing Exnid hyped up and seeing that team figure it out like they have, that would be that would be a feel good story. But
mhm.
it's great because honestly, with this major one, I'm happy if any of those teams win, you
Yeah,
know?
because it's so
Um,
scattered right now.
yeah, exactly, because it's so scattered. Um, and yeah, it would be big storylines for any of those teams. If phase one, it'd be cool because you'd have Abuza and O 04 over there who have, they haven't won anything, I don't believe,
Mhm,
in their entire career, so that'd be sick. The Thieves team proving everybody wrong and Kenny having his redemption arc, Optic coming back. And then of course, yeah, Falcons and Gentlemates, like scrappy teams that people, didn't put a ton of stock into at first, and they proved people wrong. Um, yeah, it would be insane. But my immediate picks would be again Thieves and Gentlemates
Mhm.
to win.
Okay.
What about you? What do you think?
So I think I'm gonna pick one. I think these are gonna take this major just because, like you said, land experience. And I know they're coming off of a rough split, but I cannot count any of those players out on land, especially, and the state of the CDL right now, where all these teams are really close. I just think these are going to figure it out. But my underdog team, where I really think they have a good chance of winning, is Koi. I
Really?
have a strong feeling for
Damn.
whatever reason that Koi's gonna they're gonna come out.
Yeah, I forgot
They're gonna
about
show up.
them.
Dude, they're
They're
so quiet. They're so quiet, but they're winning.
yeah, yeah,
So
and Joe deceives.
yeah. I mean, Joe and Kleenex together are a great duo. I would hate playing against them. It'd be so fucking annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling about Koi. I'm on that train and I want hopefully, one of us is right from when you guys are listening to this. You guys gotta let us know. Were we right? We wrong?
Well, and I would say too, the thing I'm surprised that none of us chose was Carolina,
Mhm.
because my thing, and maybe I could be easily wrong on this. I do think that the idea of having LAN experience and playing in front of a big crowd, especially the Optic fan base, in their hometown, when there's a lot of pressure on you to perform because everybody is talking about how good this team is. It's
Mhm.
all young guys on that team who have never really been in a position like this where people are thinking that they could go in here and really run the show.
Mhm.
Um, and I do think that that will play a bit of a hand with like Craze and Lurks. They've never been on the main stage. They've never been on LAN. And it's like, bro, if you're gonna be up against those guys and like you look over and you see like Simp or Abizi or Cell, I mean, maybe that's why I don't compete. Obviously I'm not good enough, but man, I'd shit myself. If I saw those guys, I'd be like, "Oh man, this is real deal." Like this is,
Mhm.
I think it'll have an impact.
Mhm.
Um, but it would also too, again, with my storyline thing, it would be insane to see if they just show up and land does not matter at all. That team still performs, and now we're talking about them as being like a top 3 team
Mhm.
coming out of the major.
Yeah, that'd be great to see. They walk on stage and they take care of business against these top players, but time will tell.
Do you think they will, or do you think they're gonna be kinda shit?
I mean, right, they all played in Challenger, so they've played on land before, but to be honest, I think they're gonna get knocked out quick.
Yeah, really?
I think they're gonna get knocked out quick. I think the teams that that are playing on land, they just have so much experience on land. And, you know, it's a matter of I'm sure those guys will get nervous in the beginning, but it's a matter of how fast are they gonna adjust? Are they gonna adjust as soon as they spawn in? Of course, you're gonna be nervous walking on the stage, introducing you and stuff, but do you lock in and everything's white noise now as soon as you spawn into map 1? Or does it take you all the way through map 1 and then you're locked in map 2? Because that one map will cost you the whole
Right,
series.
right. Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of just who can catch momentum first and carry it going forward. I'd
Mhm,
say too, looking at it, like I said at the beginning that it didn't wanna go through the bracket, but dude, some of these matches though, honestly have to talk about them because they are ridiculous. Bro, the
mhm,
first day of matches on Thursday is absolutely insane. It's
mhm,
Gentlemates versus Koi, then Ravens versus Thieves, Falcons, Texas, and then Vegas or FaZe in, Minnesota.
mhm,
Like, yeah, dude, all of these matches are crazy.
mhm.
Like, especially that the only one people would probably say they would know is gonna be the, FaZe versus Minnesota, but again, Minnesota went and beat FaZe, like,
Yeah,
in the last time that they played, so you can't really even say what's gonna go down, but I would only assume that FaZe is gonna win that match,
mhm,
but all these are complete coin flips as to who's
yeah,
gonna win it. I have no idea. Um, I I do agree with you though with Koi because that team. I don't know, there's something about them where they're just like a consistent team and they have that pop off ability. We've seen that with those guys where they can just go nuclear.
Mhm.
I hope they do have that kind of series against Gentlemates, because they've definitely been the team that people have talked the least about right now in the top spear of teams. I think the
Mhm.
ones that kind of fall off for sure would be Miami. People don't talk about right now. Same thing with Boston and Vancouver. You can say a little bit with G2. Those teams are kind of in there, but yeah, everybody else that's within the top teams, you would put Koi in there, but I think a lot of people would put them kind of to the bottom right now,
Mhm.
which could be a bit of a mistake. They could
It
be a
could
bit of
be.
a sleeper that just come in here and they show business. That team is gross. I mean, on
Yeah, yeah.
paper, the team is crazy good.
I think people are heavily sleeping on Koi. We
Yeah.
we could see prime insight again on land.
I know, dude. Yeah, it could happen. I mean, yeah. And same thing again with Joe Deceives. He's shown before, like he can just
Mhm.
take over in a series. And if he's able to do that, that would be crazy. And I don't know too with Gentlemates because they've got some of the guys from Surge on there, right? I don't know if they're going to be able to pull through, bro. Are they going to be the
Mhm.
Silver Surfers again? I have no.
Who
I
knows?
don't.
Or is it gonna be the face side
Yeah,
that
I
does
know,
it?
right? Yeah, that would be so cool to see if one of those teams could pull through.
Mhm.
But now I do think from those top teams, regardless of where they really place at the major, um, I don't know if anyone's going to really be making changes from this in that
Mhm.
top. No way Falcons is going to be making a change, right? There's no way unless they get dead last, which would
Mhm.
be highly unlikely. Um, but for me, the real question right now is the Thieves team because everybody was coming for Kenny's head, and now he's literally a superstar. He's one of the best players on the
Yeah.
team, and everyone's like, "Can we give this guy some help?" Um, I don't know what happens if they play bad and he does
Yeah.
well. What do
Mm.
they end up doing? Because he was
Yeah.
about to be dropped.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird situation because now they're winning. So, I think they probably go to this major, right? Like, I'm thinking if they don't honestly, if they don't place top 3, they might make a change. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
But if they decided not to make a change, I completely understand why they don't.
yeah,
Unless they placed, like, last. Bottom
right.
8.
Right, and that's what people were thinking when he was doing bad,
Mhm,
when he was underperforming and completely costing the team, and I don't understand how he's all of a sudden turned it around and become a great player, but I mean, here he is. And again, we said it when he was playing bad that they still have problems that they haven't been able to fix. Granted, they should not have lost that Carolina game. And I
mhm.
think that's kind of part of why. Did you watch the match when they were laughing afterwards?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people did not like when they did
Yeah.
that. I totally get why
Yeah.
they did.
Yeah.
'Cause they were probably like, "Bro, you have to be kidding me. Of course, we lose this match, and that's
Mhm,
how we lose in the grittiest round 11,
mhm,
Fugazi nonsense." I think they're going into this being supremely confident and knowing that they are a good team. But you do have to get over that hump,
mhm,
a round 11 loss is still gonna be a loss, and then you're sent down to losers, and if they don't clean that up, then, yeah, they could very easily just have an okay match, but lose and then they're out.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But we'll see. I do
We
think
shall see.
the top teams for the most part, they all expect first, obviously, but I think the majority of them would be satisfied with the top 3 placing, and I'm sure there are gonna be moves after this major, regardless, of the team.
At the bottom for sure,
Mhm,
there needs to be big moves. I think a lot of those teams at the bottom there that people are not putting a lot of stock into, like Cloud9, they gotta
mhm,
change, um, for sure. Same thing with Vancouver, but with all these teams, it's gonna be a question of, like, who do you really get? And it is always the question,
mhm,
who is available that you're gonna pick up and, immediately become, a better team, but I will say, and something I wanted to ask about was I saw I think it was on Zuma's stream as well. It was on the flank. And they were talking about some new kid that was on some team, and he's some French guy. And I
Mhm.
was laughing because Octane's like, "Here we fucking go again." Like another French guy coming up, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's like 19 or something." This kid, and he's insane. And you're looking at Carolina, looking at Lurks and Craze, and these guys are wicked good. And
Mhm.
I think, Justin, that we are even in this time right now, bro, we are seeing the new gen step up. We're like
Yeah.
Simp was that new gen, but now we're
Mhm.
seeing like and even Hydra, who's like a like newer gen than him, but we're seeing
Mhm.
that new wave of people that are coming in
Mhm.
and are taking over. And I think we're gonna see these people in full effect here within the next year or so. There's gonna be way more
Mhm.
of these challengers players who people take a chance on, and they find one or two of them who are like good enough that they could be mainstays in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Hydra, what he's a vet now technically. 5 years, I believe, in the league since Cold War. And Simp is 100% a vet. Dude,
Oh yeah,
10 years. Crazy. 10 years
doesn't seem like it.
playing. Um, actually, no, 8 years technically. 8 years technically.
Mm,
But that's a long time in the league.
crazy.
Long, long time being a pro. So, yeah, it is definitely weird because the time span of being a pro, we don't really know when it ends technically. Clay retired what, 30,
Mhm.
31,
Somewhere around there.
and he was the oldest player. Slasher just retired, and I think Slasher's 28, something like that. Now Dashy's the oldest player in the league at 26. Does he retire next year? That's crazy. That's crazy to think if he just decides to retire.
Yeah, and this like brings on this whole conversation because I was talking to I was telling one of my guitar students about how I wasn't going to be here because of the major, and then I had to explain to her what this was
Mhm,
and what was going on, and she was like, "So people retire from this like." They have to still work though, don't they? Like, there's no way, like, they're not making, like, when you're saying that much money where they can go and just retire forever. And I was like, "Yeah, that's true." I don't know what they really do right now, but there is gonna be this new wave, and I wonder if the CDL keeps growing in this esport, where those are gonna be the guys who in 5 years are making more than what some of the top guys are right now. And they're gonna be the generation that puts the esport into a new realm where,
mhm.
people are going to be able to start making even more serious money and be playing for a long time. But it is so hard to tell because when you look at someone like Dashy, to your point, and how he's the oldest in the league, like, bro,
Mhm.
we're older than him,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, I know.
And he hasn't been playing that long. Like, he could
Mhm.
not retire off of what he's won in COD, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's it's I think it's gonna take a long time for players to come in and make enough money to the point where they could be close to retiring, even,
Oh, yeah.
in just winnings alone and salary right now because COD's just not in a good spot, I guess, financially. The CDL isn't, but yeah, there's very few people that have come into the league. It's all the pioneers, right? That they're good now, but
Mhm.
it's because they put in the work. These new guys coming in, all right, put in the work, but I don't see any young player coming in and are they going to be the next Scump? Are they going to be the next Nade? These guys that have blew up esport and Call of Duty specifically, are they going to be that next person to help grow the scene? I don't know because I don't see them putting in work.
Right.
And there weren't that many even at that time too. Scump, Zuma, Clay, Nade, Krim. Like Krim always focused on competing. Aches, like they grew the scene, but there's a reason why Scump and Nade are as big as they are now, and Zuma, because they just
Right.
kept making content on the side.
And you think about what they turn their careers into, where
Mhm,
they can still make money and still be a success within the space, where I wonder with a lot of the new people coming around now, if they're gonna continue that. And there's so many pros that we've seen from that time that did not do anything with it.
mhm,
and I wonder if that like that group of people that are doing that, that have to go back to college or work another job, if that's going to get smaller and smaller as time goes on because of the growth, or there's still going to be people that are coming along that don't fully take advantage of the opportunity that they're given, and
Mhm,
they compete for 5, 6 years on and off and do okay, and then that's the end of them.
mhm,
I want to see, to your point, I want to see that guy who pushes the league to like the next level, is a pioneer in getting the league going somewhere else.
mhm,
Um, and I always think about that when I see these young guys coming because I know I'm like, these are going to be the people that we will watch for years. We don't know
mhm,
it now, but we will, just like Mercules. But is there going to be the next Scump? Or is he
mhm.
really just a one of one, which I'm starting to believe he is?
Yeah, because even to this day, he's still carrying the scene. And Zuma, like, Optic Hex got involved in challengers because he wants to help grow the scene. It feels like he's starting over again after over a decade worth of work that they've done for the scene, and they're the only ones still pushing this forward because they love Call of Duty. So now are other players going to do that, or other organizations? Or are they going to try to step up and do it?
Right. Yeah,
We'll
and
see.
I don't know if they're going to,
Hmm.
but we know the ones that will. They're always gonna be there. They're always gonna foster having good players and having, like, a career afterwards, but a lot of these other teams, they need to pull some weight.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And get Call of Duty to be even bigger than it actually is right now because there's a huge number of people that play Call of Duty and they don't really know what the CDL is, but ranked is a good way to get them involved in that. And COD can just, you know, they have such a good opportunity of converting people over into ranked. And speaking of ranked, ranked is coming out literally right when we come back. I believe it's February 5th,
Mhm.
I
It
believe,
it
or February 8th.
I
It's
think it's the 5th. That's what I saw, and that's ringing a bell.
I think that's Thursday,
Okay.
which that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for ranked. I'm ready
Thank
for ranked.
Christ.
I'm ready for ranked. I've been playing uh a decent amount and I'm ready for ranked. I just want to play.
I know, dude. I mean, we've been on different schedules here. I've been getting up at, like, 6 and been
Mhm.
playing. And you've been playing at night, and I just today I played for like an hour and a half, and I got to 6 prestige,
Okay.
and I'm feeling good.
Mhm.
I'm like, I know that I'm playing well. I'm starting to use the Dravic more. I low key refuse to use the M15 because I know how good that gun is, and I still
Mhm.
want to just be good with bad guns. So when ranked comes, I'll be
Yeah.
killing with it. Um, but yeah, I'm definitely at the point here where I'm ready to be getting into ranked. Um, I see a lot of people who are complaining that it has taken this long. Need I remind you, good
Yeah.
things take time. I
Just remember last year.
I know, dude. Well, we cannot have in the future of Call of Duty, we cannot have a repeat of that year where ranked came out way too early and it was a complete disaster. I'd much rather wait like we did, but I will say I hope that when ranked comes out, we don't have a lot of the same issues because I want to see that there was a reason that ranked came out late,
Mhm.
not just them delaying it to, keep our hopes and our attention on the game. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and, like and I hope they're not just gonna say, "Well, it's because last year we were released it too early and the hackers, infested the game. Now they're releasing it at the normal time."
Mhm.
But now that they're releasing it at this time, let's hope that Treyarch, you know, did some work to help manage all the issues that it had, which, again, I trust Treyarch. I hope they do something with it. I think they will, but we'll only see once the major ends. And that's the good thing. The major's going to end. We're going to be hyped up about watching competitive live, and then we're going to jump straight into ranked.
Yeah, I mean, again, the main thing right now, like in all these games that people are playing is like the competitiveness. Whether it's on like other CODs that people play in the past or like people right now, like I went, side note, I bought Arc Raiders. I
Mhm,
have tried it a little bit today. Like that level of competition,
mhm,
people are itching for that in a game, and Pubs just is not doing it for people right now.
Mhm.
And the people that I tell you too, I saw a guy who's like 958 left that game immediately because I'm like, bro, you play way too much. But
Mhm.
that's kind of the problem. People have gotten to the point now where they're just grinding and grinding. They're
Mhm.
near master and they're like, okay, we're all set on it. I need something else to be playing for.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, they need to deliver with having stuff that is worthy of earning. I saw some leaks. I don't think there was anything that was confirmed when I was looking at the Ghost of Hope and seeing what he can confirm. But they showed some of the emblems, they showed some of the rewards and stuff that you might get throughout the season for whatever rank you are. And if it's true, yeah, they did do some little small changes and stuff. Um, but I want to see a lot more in the rewards aspect for what you get. And making sure not just like wherever rank you are, but also playing consistently, however many
Mhm.
matches you win, etc. They need to have a lot more challenges and rewards that you can have, so you have an incentive to be grinding ranked.
Yeah, yeah. If they do like a streak thing where you join like you play ranked every day for X number of days, every day that you sign on to play ranked, you get some reward or extra XP or something
Right.
because that's going to incentivize people to play every single day. I mean, if you're on a streak of playing every day and you all you have to do is sign on and play a couple matches and you get instant bonuses, that's always good.
Yeah, yeah, that's that's gonna be things that just keep the vast majority of the player base going
Mhm.
throughout the whole life cycle of it because
Mhm.
it's happened in other CODs too, and it's gonna happen with this one where the people who play ranked, it diminishes as time
Mhm.
goes on, but they obviously just need to go and try to limit that as much as they can, especially too with this game because there is not as many people playing the game.
Mhm.
Um, they need to make sure, just like the multiplayer, it bangs. They need to make sure that the rank play system and everything is hyped up. And we
Mhm.
need to see some positivity on the timeline where people are like, yo, this is an unbelievable rank play system. They did X, Y, and Z. They made it better. Um, so that some of the naysayers with Call of Duty right now could maybe shed some light on it and be like, it's actually not too
Mhm.
bad. They did do something right.
Yeah, and I believe in Treyarch. I believe that they'll innovate a little bit or, something like that with ranked, and it'll be interesting because I've been playing a lot of COD, but I've just been using different weapons. I'm still on the camo grind slowly, but
That's
surely.
impressive.
I haven't quit yet,
Yeah.
which usually by this point I'm like, "Dude, fuck this. This
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
taking way
Forget it.
too long." But again, I'm enjoying pubs, even using these other weapons, but funny enough, I haven't touched the M15 since the game came out. I've been using
Well,
the Dravik way more. Like, as soon as I got the M15 gold, I just haven't used it.
dude, I was gonna say my M15 still, I don't even think is max level. Like
Mhm,
it's up there, don't get me
mhm,
wrong. I used it a good amount at first, but, because it was such a broken gun and to the conversation we had about using other guns that make you better,
mhm.
um, I just haven't bothered with it,
Yeah.
and I see a whole bunch of people using that M15 all the
Oh,
time,
yeah, yeah.
you
Everyone's
know?
using it, and I get out I don't know why, I like the feeling of the Dravik, that makes sense,
Yeah, I do too.
and so when I need to try hard last night, I was playing against a guy that his name was Rogue, by the way, if for whatever reason Rogue is
He's
listening,
watching.
but he, would just spam my body, and I didn't even do anything. Usually when I'm playing at night now, I'm just chilling, and anytime I got a kill on this guy, he would get pissed, he would kill me, just spam my body. I'm like, "Alright, dude." And then I beat him the first match, same exact lobby, next match on the opposite team again, which I like because now in my head, I'm thinking, "Oh, I'm up 1-0 against this guy."
Right, right.
And he's going so hard the next match with the Dravik, and I'm thinking, "Okay, I can't keep using." I was using a shotgun trying to level it up. So I switched to the Dravik, tried my ass off, shit on his team
Yeah.
and him, and then we won. Went up 2-0 on him, and then he left, which made me feel so good. He didn't wanna
Yeah.
stay in the game again.
Well, dude, that level of competition is what I'm excited for because I know I'm good at this game, don't get me wrong, but my question is how good am I? You know?
Well,
As
it
always.
yeah, it's different in ranked because you gotta train your brain differently, right?
Right, of course.
You have to think differently when you're playing ranked, and that's what I'm itching for too, because now it's only 8 people on the map,
Mhm.
and you have to make the right plays in this game, and understanding spawns, understanding rotations, that's what I'm excited for. I just wanna get back to that where you and I are just playing ranked every night, playing a couple matches, like, getting the wins that we need, and hopefully not going on a losing streak.
Yeah, because my big concern this year, dude, honestly, and I yesterday I made a point to be doing it on the matches, and I'm gonna once once I make dinner, is I need to be watching and playing Overload more.
Mhm,
I don't play Overload at all,
mhm.
but I watch it extensively.
Yeah.
When I watch it, I'm always trying to figure out exactly what's going on in that mode and how the actual game plays because I know when we go and play ranked, that's going to be the mode that will either make us or break us. I
Mhm,
know our search is decent. We can play search. I'm not even worried about that. Same thing with hardpoint. I know the rotations from watching it. I'm set on that, but Overload is one of those modes, and just like with the pros too, there's some teams that are godlike at it, and there's some teams that are so bad, and
mhm,
or they make just small mistakes and they pay for it.
mhm.
And that's the mode that I we need to have that figured out for ranked
Yeah.
because I'd be so pissed if we just can't play it because I'm like, bro, we make stupid mistakes because we don't know. We're so control based.
Mhm.
We're
Yeah,
still in
yeah.
control mode and we need to give it up.
Yeah, it's that mode is just so team-based, way
Yeah.
more team-based than control, which I'm fine with, but there's gonna be a lot of communication that's needed for that game mode,
Yeah.
and I'm just excited to start thinking like that again in ranked. When I say that, people are probably wondering, "What do you mean? You just run and get kills?" That not at all. If you just run around and get kills, you're probably gonna lose. But I'm just excited to use the M15 and the Dravic, the meta of this game,
You're right,
a
right.
and I've just been using every other weapon besides those, essentially. I haven't really picked up the Dravic or the M15 and just loading and playing with those weapons.
Yeah, the past couple of days, I didn't play a ton this week because of towards the end of the week, I didn't because of the illness, but I've been using the Drovic more, trying to get used to that sub, and I love it. Um, the fire rate is still just very slow,
Mhm,
um, but I like using that gun. I'm ready to use it, but I still need to, just for my own sake, I need to try out a lot of the other guns. I have used the vast majority of the ARs and subs in the game already, so I'm all set on those, but bro, I have not touched shotguns in this game at
yeah,
all.
they're good.
I don't think I have like I've never made a class with a shotgun in
Mhm,
this game yet. I've picked it up off of people and gotten a couple of kills here and there. And same thing with sniping. And every time I pick up a sniper in this game and I get a kill, I'm always hyped. I'm
yeah,
always thinking, dude, the sniping in this game is so nice. But I just never actually commit to using it for whatever reason.
mhm, yeah. I mean, I I've been keeping up with the new DLC weapons coming out too. That's how I know I'm locked in with this camo grind so far because I've gotten all of those to whatever max camo I can get so far.
Yeah, the other what's the sub? The Strummen Wolf or something like that?
Yeah, yeah.
It's
UOP.
some
Yeah,
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 that thing's sick. I
yeah,
love
it's
that
good.
gun. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, again, I can't reiterate enough how excited I am for Ranked and to just start playing that again because we've been watching all these games. Yeah, we're going to the majors, so that's gonna be awesome seeing it live. But then I want to take that energy and come back and fry in ranked. And there's just something about chasing the higher rank.
Yeah, and I wanna get the comms going between us again, where we have to call
Mhm,
out and doing all that stuff. Yeah, it's been a minute. We didn't play a ton of ranked at the end of, BO6, and to be back in this, and especially with us gonna be coming off of an insane major, whoever ends up winning it,
mhm.
uh it I think COD's gonna be at, like, an all-time peak for the interest in it, so it's a perfect timing, if you ask me, for Rank to come out. It has been a long wait, but it's coming at the right time, and I think it's gonna capitalize and it'll do well because of this.
Yeah. I mean, the last time we played ranked like heavily was MW2, and then that followed into MW3. And then did we play ranked in Vanguard? I don't think we did. Or no, we
Barely.
did. We did a little bit. And
Yeah,
then
we didn't like I don't think we really enjoyed ranked in, Vanguard that much.
yeah, yeah. And then BO6 we did play a bit, but didn't like that game. Everybody just hated it. Cheaters. So we just
Yeah.
stopped. And now
Yeah,
we
no
actually
that
have a good game.
yeah, no, so this is gonna be way better.
Yeah, in Cold War had rank, but you and I just played so many pubs in that game, which is funny because that probably was a great ranked game if you and I played.
Oh, dude,
And now this is gonna be a repeat of like a Cold War-esque.
I
Yeah.
think about that a lot as to why we didn't play ranked that year because Cold War was such a great COD, one of the best ones in recent years, in my opinion. And for some reason, we just did not play ranked on that. We were so hooked on the multiplayer,
Mhm.
just like in pubs, we didn't even bother with it.
Yeah. Well, and
And
I
I don't
think
know why.
that was the first year of the pod too. So I mean, like,
True.
I think we were just watching so much COD and we were so locked into just playing pubs the whole time.
We would have been gross in that
It would
ranked.
have been fun. It would have been
Yeah.
so fun.
We should go back and I'm kidding. No, fuck that. No, it'll be a good start again for this game. I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, it's coming out on the 5th and I'll be curious to see where we end up placing. We'll
Mhm.
work our way through it, no doubt. Um and yeah, dude, we're just going to have to get a grip on Overload.
Yeah.
We're going to have to make
Yeah,
sure that we can play that well.
we'll be good. We'll be good. It's just way
We'll be
more team oriented, but yeah, I mean, I think we covered most of the topics that we want to
Yeah,
talk
that's it.
about. I mean, like major one's coming up for us, Ant for it. If you guys want to know about Major One, join the Discord. We're going to be in there talking about the major, probably
Mhm.
taking a lot of pictures too
No
for
doubt.
people that can't go to the major. We'll just post pictures in the Discord if you guys want to see more.
Yep.
Um, and yeah, Patriots made it to the Super Bowl again.
Oh yeah,
I just had to mention that. And
take
we're
that
playing
knife, Justin, just twist it a little bit.
we're playing the Seahawks, which is
Yeah.
a rematch of the
Yep.
2015 Super Bowl. So
Mhm.
that'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, when you guys listen to this, major one's over. You and I crossed off a major bucket list item for us. And
Shout out Boston Breach on Major One's win.
that that would be insane.
Bro, you and me be the only people cheering.
Yeah, literally. And yeah, I'm just excited for this whole major. It's been something you and I have always wanted to do, and we're finally doing it. Hopping on the plane, getting there, and then it's COD for the
Yeah,
whole weekend.
yeah, it is there is no experience like it. We wake up, we're just like, "All right, let's get breakfast, coffee. We're just gonna sit and have some refreshments and just watch Call of Duty all day.
Yeah,
Nothing else to do. It is the life."
yeah. There's nothing like it, and hopefully some of you guys make it to the major. And if you do, again, let us know. Join the Discord. Let us know that you're there, or tweet us if you don't have a
100%.
Discord. But yeah, I think that covers
I
everything for the
think that
most
does it,
part.
bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, guys, if you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe over there. Let us know down below if you're excited for a ranked and who's going to win the major. Let us know because I wonder if one of us are going to be right or not with our pick or the underdog
We'll
pick.
see.
And make sure to go to anchor.fm/COD Casuals, where we're on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. And when you're on Spotify, make sure to leave 5 stars and a comment down below because it helps us out a ton. And if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, we clip it up and post it on Instagram and TikTok. So go over there.
Mhm.
Yeah. And 5 stars only on
Always.
everything, literally everything, not just Spotify, Apple
Yeah.
Podcast, all that stuff. So yeah, and one last shout out, go join the Discord again. Get in there because we're always in there. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, thank you everyone. This has been episode 259 of the COD Casuals. We're your host Justin,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Hey, take it easy, everybody.
See ya.